Super quick video on just some shelf brackets I built out of scrap lumber, just 3/4 inch lumber I had laying around, and they work really good. It's just a quick rendering of what I built. Had some 1x12 pine as the shelves. They were supported by those metal bent brackets that if you get a kink in one of those, all the strength goes out of it. These shelves had sort of let me down. I had a bunch of old trim wood that came off of a window project that I just simply ripped into 1.5 strips. So 1.5 by 3/4. The whole thing is made out of the same stuff. Again, it was all free, just laying around, junky wood. I ripped the long pieces, used a little stop block to cut all my braces and brackets to proper length, just using my table saw. Got those down to where I had all the parts made. Again, everything same dimension, 1.5 wide. Then I have another sled that works at a 45-degree angle with the blade, so I cut all those 45s in both the shelf supports and the shelf angle bracket, and the idea was that they were going to fit in a notch similar to this picture here, and that's how I did it. I simply used my table saw sled to cut dados or notches in the back brace, 3/4 inch wide for that top piece, and then a little bit less than 3/4 inch wide for these angled brackets, to where I hollowed out a rectangular shape, and then with a chisel chiseled out the 45-degree angle so the brackets would rest against the support and against the shelf and be locked in by their very shape. So it was a pretty simple little operation. Once I'd measured everything out and marked everything correctly, I just used my sled and basically dadoed out these notches by just marking carefully with a pencil and moving along the length of the board with my blade set at a 1/4 inch depth. So basically I'm cutting a third of the way into that a third of the way into that 3/4 inch stick. Which gave me plenty of strength. So once I had those notches cut, in order to get that angled piece, I just took a chisel, marked the straight line with a razor blade, a razor knife, so I had something to lock my chisel into cleanly, and I just clipped that little 45-degree piece off of there, and it made for a really nice notch to accept the angled brace that actually does the work of holding up the shelf. So here's just a sort of a silly illustration of how that worked. Simply just drove my chisel in along that line and took that piece out. It ended up coming out very cleanly. The piece went together, I thought, very well for something I made out of complete scrap. And then using a stop block, again on that same little sled, I marked my lengths and clipped that 45-degree section off of those support sticks, flipped them over, clipped that smaller 45-degree section off to fit in that angled notch that I just showed you that I cut with the chisel. And then once all these pieces were manufactured, again using a stop block, all the pieces were the identical length and identical shape, so that all the shelves, there's 6 different locations, were all identical, so the shelves would sit level side to side and be evenly spaced up and down. So here they are finished, and again you can see I got pretty tight little notches, and they went up really nice. It looked like this, worked like a charm. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.